Good evening and welcome to another Solidarity segment. This is Jason Jones with the Indiana District Communist Party USA. Today with me is Jauston with IDOC Watch. Jauston, welcome to our little YouTube interview multimedia project that we have with the Indiana District. And I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself and the organization that you represent.
My name is Jauston, and I represent the IDOC Watch, and it's a group started to monitor the activities that are done by the criminal justice system where we're at in Indiana, to observe their activities and to see how they're treating inmates and to see how they're engaging with people, and also to monitor their policies, to see, to make sure that, you know, people's rights aren't being violated and things of that nature.
How did you first get involved with IDOC Watch?
Well, I got involved with IDOC Watch because about a year and a half ago, I got out of prison myself. And, you know, once I got out, I had to restart life all over again, you know, and I am someone who has been a part of recidivism, you know, getting arrested again, get into some crime or something again, and end up in that vicious cycle. You know, but this time was different because this time I did come out with a plan, and I had good people connected to me. A mutual friend introduced me to Nick Grevin, who is the head coordinator of IDOC Watch. So I was introduced to him and his program and how the resources that they have set up to help people like me, you know, guys coming out of the system and who are truly sincere about having a new, fresh start and turning life around, you know. So I was led in the right direction, and it's been a year and a half since, and I'm doing quite well, you know.
I understand. Okay. I was wondering, so some of the struggles that that IDOC Watch is engaged in right now, what would be sort of like the priority at this point for the organization and folks involved in IDOC Watch?
You know, we have access to certain resources, but I think we need more help with getting our message to the people, because the power is going to come from the people. And, you know, too many times it takes a tragedy to really open people's eyes and make people aware of a certain situation or circumstance. But, you know, I think that if we came up with a better way to communicate with the people, I think that's our biggest struggle, and that's what we're trying to figure out now, you know. And we are focused in trying to get this this message out in the most pure and honest way that it can be delivered, you know.
Prisons are notoriously, you know, places where things happen without, you know, transparency or the eye of the public, you know, being able to see what's really going on inside. I was wondering if you might be able to speak to maybe some personal experiences when you were there that, you know, perhaps some things that might have happened that are pretty common that maybe people don't know about. And I don't know if you were in, you know, when the COVID pandemic started, or maybe you got out afterward. To speak to that a little bit.
You know, you ask a question like that, or you know, allude to something like that, and there's so many, you know, overall, I've done 14 years incarcerated, you know, on the life installment plan, where I've done 3 years for this and 4 years for that. And all my charges have been drug related, possession of drugs and dealing with drugs, you know, all nonviolent stuff. But I did 14 years in prison. So in those type of years, you see so many different things. So to, I mean, there's so much that can be said, but like crazy things that I've seen, like for example, food becomes money. Ramen noodle soups become you know, monetary units to pay debts and take care of bills and to gamble with, and you know, so it's and it will even be delivered from one side of a prison to the other, you know, to pay off a debt or something like that. So you know, and to see that type of situation, a whole different type of money system, you know, is something that resonates with you, you know. Oh, and what you said about the COVID, that's what I was thinking about. What you said about, because when I was incarcerated, that's exactly when COVID had hit. And actually, I had a court date coming up to ask for a reduction in my sentence, a modification of my sentence. So I had a court date coming up. And then COVID came, and then it pushed my court date back, you know. So this court date was important because it meant the difference of me getting out soon or me getting out 4 years from now, you know. So it was a huge court date for myself. And then COVID came out, and at first, everybody, the sense in prison was we were just worried about how this would affect our lives on the inside, you know. But then as we saw the epidemic begin to spread throughout the country, throughout the world, and once we started realizing how it will come here and it's going to affect us, because obviously it affects everything, then we started to take a different look at it, and it became more real. And then we begin to think of how we are treated, often neglected, you know, just mishandled as human beings, you know. So with all that, wondering, oh yeah, excuse me. But yeah, with all that, then it hit. And it went from one person to the next. And we kept, I was the dorm rep, is what's called in prison. So I would go directly and talk to the prison administrators, and they would give information to me and other dorm reps throughout the prison to take back to the dorm to talk to the 150 guys that are on deck. So I would talk to them often, and we would ask them what types of things had they had in place, any type of preparations or anything. And there was nothing. There was nothing. But they said that they would respond once it hit. So there was nothing to prepare or to try to stop or prevent. But they said when people started getting sick, they do the best that they could to handle it, you know. And then one by one, like I say, I was at Indiana State Farm, and during the time that I was there, I think 40 guys got sick, you know, and several dorms were quarantined, and we were given sandwiches and cereal for the day, you know. And it was hot days, I remember, because it was summer was just starting to kick in, you know. So, you know, it was a difficult period.
Did they give you
But
any protective equipment like masks or?
no, you know what? They did not give us masks for like when CDC had put out on the news and put out on you know, everywhere that you're supposed to wear a mask, and everyone, it had been mandated that everybody wear a mask. We were not allowed to have any, because I actually saw the news every day and I made one myself, and then they took it from me, you know, and told me that I would face disciplinary conduct report if I was to wear it, because I would be trying to conceal my identity, you know. So but yeah, you know, it was a bad situation, and it made you really take a look at how you are valued, how you are seen, you know, because yeah, if I mean there was
What,
nothing to say that we cared about your life, if you will, you know.
what
That's
about the
it.
staff? Did they wear masks when they were interacting with?
Uh the staff could wear masks and did wear masks. Yeah. And it was said that they had to, because that way, if they had it, they couldn't infect anybody else. But we were not allowed to wear masks. Yeah.
I know that IDOC Watch was involved in some campaigns to get folks who were sort of like nearing the end of their sentence out because of the COVID pandemic, to get them out of the prisons
Yeah.
as a health precaution. And how did that go?
Well, actually, IDOC Watch has helped a few people uh, in that process and program. I'm not 100% familiar with that aspect, but I know that they did, and I know that they're currently working on a few cases as well. And usually those cases revolve around someone who's older with probably with medical conditions, and not having a serious record or a serious violent offenses in their history. Yeah.
What are some victories that IDOC Watch has had recently in terms of challenging the prison complex?
Our victories, well, I'm with Focus Initiative, okay? And Focus Initiative is under the umbrella of IDOC Watch. And what we do is assist people and help people to become reacclimated into society. So, you know, I'm more in that area, and I would really hate to take away, uh, um, you know, some glory to IDOC Watch for something that they've accomplished, which I didn't really speak on, or didn't speak on in the moment. So, you know, yeah, I just want to focus on what I know.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's really good work. So the Focus Initiative is primarily, geared toward assisting folks, coming back out into the community.
That
Um, how do people get connected? If somebody were to come out and maybe see this video and they want to get connected with, Focus Initiative or IDOC Watch, either one, how do they go about doing that?
all you have to do is go to go to Patreon/Focus Initiative, or go to the idocwatch.net website.
IDOCWatch.net or the
Yeah.
Patreon/Focus Initiative.
Yes.
And is there any specific requirements for the Focus Initiative for folks who might want to engage in that program?
Is there any requirements?
Yeah, do they have to have like a certain conviction, or have to be a resident of a certain county, or can anyone just sort of
No, no. Well, we operate within the state, so anyone within the state. Because see, we have it's us here and it's a group in Evansville. So those are more where we're centered, but we do have people that we connect with throughout the state as well, you know. So it depends on the location of the individual, but and this is a definite truth that at the very least, if anybody who comes from that type of background contacts us and wants to reach out to us, at the very least, we're going to communicate and try to give you the best type of help possible in your situation that we can. You know, we never turn on anybody.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear. And
yeah,
what is there any upcoming actions or events with either Focus Initiative or IDOC Watch? This maybe like in the near future where folks can turn out if to support IDOC Watch or those organizations.
Well, actually, at the college in Bloomington, Indiana, this weekend, myself, I will be moderating a speaking event from some guys who were incarcerated and happened to go through the riot of 1985 and right here in Indiana. And we're going to go there and just discuss some of the details and bring to light certain things by certain people who were actually there to see what took place and to hear their take on it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
a little familiar with that. That was, I think, in respect, like there was some brutality that happened. I think
it was some extreme brutality that happened, and of course there were so many different things going on that come out in later years, like in 85 when everything happened, there was so many things suppressed and outright hidden, concealed, that the truth had never been known for quite some time. But a lot of things have come to light, and so much so and so strongly that it makes the whole, you have to take a whole new look at the situation, so we're continuing that narrative.
That's awesome. I thank you, Jauston. I really appreciate all the work that you're doing. I appreciate your time here with us today and talking about the IDOC Watch and the Focus Initiative, and look forward to hearing more from you. And we will put all those links in our YouTube description of this video so people can connect with those organizations and hopefully turn out to hear you moderate this weekend.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yep.